Hey y'all, I'm Abby, More Than Just Skin, and welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm thrilled you took some time out of your day to spend a little bit of time here with me. Today is a good old-fashioned get ready with me with this look. This is kind of one of my go-to fall makeup looks I have been doing, and it is kind of devoted around the green eye look that I have been loving this fall. So if you're interested in seeing how I created this look, then hit that subscribe button and keep watching. Fresh face. We are going to start, y'all, by priming my skin with what has been my favorite go-to kind of primer this fall, and it is the First Aid Beauty Hello Fab Coconut Skin Smoothing Primer Moisturizer. Y'all have heard me say it before, but I will say it again. It's as if a radiant primer and a hydrating primer had a baby. So good. And I think it's especially good for people with dry skin, mature women, mom. You need to be getting your hands on this. Okay, so I'm going to be using my Huda Beauty foundation. This is in the shade Amaretti 310G, and the name of this is the Faux Filter High Coverage Cream Foundation. It is like a cream foundation. It is incredibly thick, but I like to apply it with the damp sponge. I am using my L'Oreal sponge right now. And you're probably thinking, gosh, that color doesn't really look right on her. But y'all, I can work it in and it can work. I like to use more of a yellow tone foundation because it helps cancel out any redness I may have. I'm looking around my face and I don't see really that I need any extra concealer around my face, but if I do, I have been relying on the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. That's what I've been using to conceal around my face, but I am going to conceal under my eye with the Trish McEvoy Instant Eye Lift. Y'all, this stuff is so good. And I'm just dabbing it. I sometimes do a sponge with it, but I'm just going to use my finger to kind of press it into the skin. And that is how that looks. Okay, so one thing I have been loving ever since I got it, and I have really been loving with a full coverage kind of more matte foundation, is the Laura Mercier Translucent Glow Powder. And I am going to shake that up good, and then I'm taking my big e.l.f. brush. Y'all, this is such a great brush, so cheap, and I am just going to set my face. Now that that is done, I am going to bronze my face, and the bronzer that I have been using is the Marc Jacob Tantastic Bronzer. This is how it looks. It's kind of a little bit of a cooler tone bronzer, which is what I like in the fall and winter. I go for warmer tones in the spring and summer, really a lot more in the summer, because it kind of mirrors my natural tan, but this is great for this time of year. And I'm using a Wet n Wild. This is the P60. Great brush. Both brushes I've showed you, very inexpensive. However, I have some coming that are not quite so inexpensive. Okay, kind of gave my skin some definition, or my face some definition. I'm going to set my under eye and carve out some contour with the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. I am using the Sigma Concealer Blend Kabuki Brush F79. I think I got this at Nordstrom's, but of course you can get it on Sigma. And then I'm taking my big e.l.f. brush to just brush any excess away. Okay, so now we're going to move on to blush. And the blush I've been using a ton this fall, I've got powder all over me, is the Tom Ford Cheek Color in 05 Ravish. Super expensive, something you definitely do not need. It is my only Tom Ford blush, and I like to use it this time of year. I'm using a Duo Fiber brush by Real Techniques. You can see how pigmented it is, so I am pretty light-handed with it, but it's really, really pretty. One thing I like to do is I like to take Reserve Your Cabana by Wet n Wild, and I'm taking it on an e.l.f. small tapered brush, and I'm just going to kind of swipe it. This is what I call my highlighting primer. You could stop there with highlight. You see how that added a ton of brightness, but I'm going to put some more highlight on because that's what I do. I'm going to jump off camera and do my brows real quick, and I will be back and we will start on the eyes. Okay, I'm back. For brows, I used the Precisely My Brow pencil by Benefit. I've been loving this pencil. I am going to prime my eyelids with the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly, and I'm just going to kind of haphazardly throw this on with my finger. And I'm going to set that with my Sephora. This is just a single shade. I don't even know if they make this anymore, but it's in the shade Sandcastle. It is just a matte cream shade, and I am going to take the Sigma Tapered Blending E40 brush. It's kind of a real fluffy brush, and I'm just going to set that. Moving on to eyeshadow. The eyeshadow palette I have been loving for fall is, no surprise here, the Comfort Zone palette by Wet n Wild. I've said this before, go get your hands on this if you are in the market for an inexpensive fall palette. I think you can create so many different looks with this. Y'all, I really love it. But now, like I said, I promised you we were going to, where's my brush? I promised you we were going to dive into some more expensive brushes, and here we go. So I am going to clean it off with my color cleaner, but we are going to be using the Wayne Goss number 16. It looks like this. Fantastic brush, and we are going to go in with this shade right here, which is kind of a brownish shade, and I'm just gonna start. That's gonna be kind of like the first shade I put down as the transition. It's just kind of a light brownish color. I take it up so that when I put my eyes down, you can still see it. So it's in the crease and definitely above the crease. Now I am going to go in with the Wayne Goss 17 brush with that same color, but just a little bit more, to add a little bit more depth to it. I'm going in with a smaller brush to kind of darken that same shade up a bit. Now we are going to take that same brush, the Wayne Goss 17, and I'm going to go in with this shade on the end right here. It's kind of a deep, what would we say, more of a burgundy style brown. Really pretty. Y'all, this palette, I can't get over how good it is. I really love it. So I just kind of deepened up the crease a little more. I'm going to take now the Wayne Goss 18 brush, and we are going to go in with this very deep greenish color, and I'm going to just kind of pack that in the outer V and then sweep it across the crease. Now I'm going to take that big blending brush and do some blending because I don't want the crease to be quite as dark as I've got it going on. So we're just going to do some blending. Now on my finger, I'm taking this green shade right here, and that is what I'm gonna pop on the lid. Taking it up a little bit into the crease because again, I have hooded eyes and I want to kind of create an illusion, taking my blending brush, blending it out, but I want to kind of create an illusion that my crease is a little bit higher. So we're going to go up just a smidge more. Do some blending. Now, I sort of feel like I need a little something more. So I'm going to take this shade right here again on my finger, and I'm going to dab that kind of in the center. Maybe to tone down that green just a smidge, but to make it a little bit more cohesive. And again, I'm going to take the Wayne Goss 17. I'm going to go back in this shade, and I'm really going to work that into the crease. Now with a Wayne Goss, again, I apologize, a smudger brush. This is the 05. I'm going to take this green shade, and that's what I'm going to place underneath the eye. And I'm going to connect this outer corner. You can see how deep and smoky that makes it. These shadows are so pigmented to be a $5 palette. They're more pigmented than a lot of palettes that are way more expensive. Now I'm going to go in with this shade right here. Again, this light brown with the smudger brush. And I'm going to just kind of smudge out that lower lash line. Okay, so what I am going to do now is I am going to apply my highlighter, and I'm going to use the MAC Superb. This is the Extra Diminished Skin Finish, and it looks like this. And I'm going to take a Wet n Wild brush, and I'm just going to pop that in the tops of the cheeks, into the nose. And that's how it looks. Okay, I'm gonna set my entire face today with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water Set and Refresh Spray. Now I'm going to pop off camera, curl my lashes, put on some mascara, and I will be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back, and for my lips, I'm gonna do some high-end mixed with some drugstore. I am lining my lips with the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner in Iconic Nude. Lipstick for today is the Rimmel Kate London in the shade 47. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished look. This is my kind of go-to, or one of my go-to fall makeup looks that I have been loving a ton this fall. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I would love to have you back here on a regular basis. And as always, I hope this video finds you having a fantastic day and a great week, and I will see you all soon. Bye, y'all.